Hello guys, what is going on? We're back with another video today explaining, coming to 2021, should we keep or get rid of our lined day geckos? You want to know why we want to get rid of them? Maybe? Well, watch this video and let's find out. So, as you guys just saw from the intro, do we get rid of our lined day geckos going into 2021 or do we keep them? Now, there's so many reasons for and against. Basically, I want your guys' help to let me know what I should do, because this channel and my animals are based upon what you guys like to see. Now, I haven't actually filmed these for months because since they're now on the reptile rack, and obviously they're separated because they can't be together anymore, I just don't see them. I go into the room, they're out basking, and they bolt, run off, gone. I'm doing 3 lots of different lights on each tank, so 6 in total. UVB, grow light, spot bulb, and yeah, just don't really see them much, but there's a lot more to it than that, because when you do see them, they're amazing creatures. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking what else could potentially fill their boots and loads of stuff. So let's get into the reptile room now. We'll take a little look. I'll show you both of their tanks because they're both very, very different, and maybe we can make some fors and against and see why we want to get rid of them and why we don't. So guys, we're now in the reptile room. As you can see, well, the majority of our animals are in this room. Obviously there's a few which isn't, but most of them are. And it is obviously halfway through construction, getting everything done. We've still got some clutter in the corner there. Still needs decorating because at the minute Winnie the Pooh wallpaper is not how we want to look. But other than that, up here basically the 2 tanks with the HUDs on, so this one here and this one here, are both featuring our lined day geckos. So we'll start with this one first. Now, as you can see, this is Kane. This is the male, and if you guys don't know, they had to be separated because we got sold them as a breeding pair and they were fighting, trying to kill each other. So they're now separate. Now, Kane normally sit in that little dip there where the backboard comes away from the glass. A very basic setup. He's got his UVB and his spot bulb. That is all he needs. He doesn't need a grow light because he hasn't got a bioactive tank. So he's got a very basic tank with a log, couple of leaves, little hide, and that is it. Now, he normally sits on this long branch coming out towards his shelf, and he was actually here when I walked in, and the second I looked at him he ran off and bolted into the corner. So now if someone was to come into this reptile room to view it and look at it, like a lot of my friends and family do, this is an empty tank. No, it isn't, I understand what you mean, but looking at it, it is an empty tank. So yeah, coming onto this tank, also got the UVB, spot bulb and grow light as well, the Jungle Dawn one. This looks a lot more appealing, and obviously it's a fully bioactive tank. You can see the drainage layer here. Look at all the roots growing. That light is absolutely amazing from Arcadia Jungle Dawn. This is Candy and Kane. This is the female, obviously. Now, this is obviously a very overgrown tank, so the reason it's overgrown is because I cannot get in there to cut down stuff which is actually getting so tall it's burning the tops off, as you can see there by that leaf. Look at that. I can't actually get in here to trim this tank down because these lizards are so fast. Lined day geckos are so fast and so quick, and with these exoterras, I'll do this as an example on this tank because this is a gargoyle gecko who's much slower. When you open them for maintenance, do the maintenance here, you've got the fear of them running against the glass and coming through this little slit here, which for them is not so little and is quite big, and even if you open it all the way out, there's still a slit. So it's really hard to do maintenance in this tank because it's quite a little tank, because obviously the littler it is, the more secure they will feel because they're very skittish, as you can see from that one. And as soon as you put your hand in to do maintenance, you will spook them, him or her, but it makes no difference. And obviously once they get out, and if they do get out and go behind this rack, This is not something that you can just pull out straight away. So I can't really do no maintenance in here, although some of the stuff is growing really lovely, as you can see. Amazing coloration. But like I say, maintenance wise I can't really do much to it at all. And looking now, I can't even normally spot the female. Now when the female was in another room, she was really confident, used to come out on the glass, prance about, but since being in here, don't know why, just not showing her face at all. Or when she does, she even starts to run like the male cane does. So looking at these tanks from a distance, we've got that side with the male and the other side with the female, but right now you can't see them. Yes, I'm aware you also can't see the gargoyle gecko in the middle, but he's not meant to be out in the day, so that is fine because he shouldn't be out. These guys, lined day geckos, should be out in, yes, believe it or not, the day. So what I was obviously thinking was beneficial to the reptile room and to the rack if we was to move this tank here to the side. We've basically got from here all the way to here for a tank. So these two tanks basically, you could say. So we could have one animal and two different tanks, or one bigger tank. So again, if we could have something in here, what would you guys want to see? Could be a chameleon, because obviously we can go high because we've got the vent. There's nothing there blocking us from going taller. You know, what would you like? Would you like European green tree frogs? Yes, we have got a frog down here, this little guy. But that's what I mean. What do you guys want to see in these tanks? These tanks are the only two questionable tanks that I want to debate about swapping. And obviously another thing makes me nervous about finding the right home, but we'll get to that in a little bit later in the video. So what would you guys want to see? Like I said, there is a lot of room for options. Obviously that is a level above me up here. So we're using 3 lights for the bioactive tank. So we're using the spot bulb, the jungle dawn grow light and the UVB. Other tank we're just using UVB and spot bulb. So in total that's a lot of wattage, and it's also 6 different plugs on this rack. 6 plugs on one rack, that takes up a lot of your rack plug space. And yes, I know it doesn't matter, but when you've got like bigger tanks which are only taking up 1, it makes you think, you know, if I've got 6 spare plugs behind me from freeing them 2 tanks up, what could go there? A lot. So that's what you've got to really think. You've got to like sort of, you know, evaluate, are they worthy of being there? And yes, they are stunning creatures. So amazing, so fascinating to watch and great hunters, but when you're coming in here to view an animal, when you can't view them, it's a little bit sort of like, so obviously I don't spend all day in here, but when I do come in here they go. And when I'm not in here they stay out. So when do I actually get a chance to see them? And they don't come out in the night either. So that's what I'm really thinking. There's a lot more cons, especially when you think of electric bills and plug space, stuff like that. So yeah, bit of a bummer, I know, but, and it would also be a lot easier if we could put 2 of them in one tank, because then it's half the amount of plugs, it's half the amount of electric. It's just one tank, it's one UVB, it's one grow light, it's one spot bulb, instead of 2 of everything. 2 tanks, 2 spot bulbs, 2 grow lights, 2 UVBs, everything. 2 lots of feeding ledges, everything. So that also makes it a lot of a more easier choice to make. So it doesn't look very likely, but again, it's not something I want to rush into or, you know, just do for the sake of. I want to find the right home. So yeah, it's a little bit upsetting talking about it really, because I do really like them, but it seems sort of inevitable for us to progress and move on. But I don't know, let's talk about it back in the other room. Just as I was about to go, he decides to come out, but he'll probably run. You can see his tail, just the tip, just below the log, and his head just down there. To be fair, on camera you might not even be able to see him on the backboard. But yeah, again, once they colour up, absolutely stunning. Don't know if we better see his head in there. Yeah, just see his eye. But again as well, as far as filming for you guys, can't really film these. I have got some footage of them, which I'll try and put up if I can, but doing videos on them and handling, it's not an option because it's not possible, so that's another thing which is quite important to me as well. So basically that is the reptile room with them guys in. Now I know there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons, but at the minute all I can see is cons to keeping them, and I can't really even say I'll miss them because I don't see them to miss them. When I go in there they run off, so I actually go 3 or 4 or 5, 6 sometimes days without even seeing them, and I start to think, are they okay? So yeah, the fact that they don't really like human interaction, they are captive bred, they're not wild caught, none of my stuff is wild caught, so it's not that they're scared because of that, but they're scared because they're just a species which is very lucrative and very shy, and that's not their fault. That's why I don't want to rush their home. So getting on to, if we were to rehome them, I've reached out to a few specialists who deal with sort of you know, day geckos, because there's so many different variations and subspecies, etc. And they're not local, you know, they're 4 or 5 hours away, so I don't even mind having to pay for an animal courier to take them away and, you know, drive them down there for me. But yeah, I want to make sure they go to the right place, because I don't want someone seeing them in the pet shop, if they were to go there, and think, oh, a green lizard, can I have that? And just see it and think, oh, it's a lizard I can potentially get out and handle, and do you know what I mean? I want someone to make sure they understand the care and dedication that goes into an animal like that, because they're not an animal where you can just get out like a bearded dragon, or, you know, they don't want your attention, they don't want your interaction, they're quite happily just left alone. And I don't feel like giving them to a pet shop would be the right idea, because that's the only reason they sell. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few proper reptile keepers who understand the commitment to them of having them as a watching species, but yeah, that's unlikely. And also, I don't want them to be paired together again if I let go of them together to the same person. So if I let 2 of them go to the same either reptile shop or breeder, etc., whatever, I don't want them thinking, oh, male and female, he doesn't know what he's talking about, I'll pair them together and they fight, because that'd be my doing, and I really don't want that. So that's such a big decision, and I really need to think about it, so don't really know, but it looks likely they will go, but there's no rush. So if you guys have any sort of suggestions in the UK, obviously, where they can go, or who would be interested in them, let me know and we can have a little chat. Price wise, they are free. I'm not going to sell them. I don't sell animals to make money, but it's not me saying they're free by someone saying, can I have them? Yeah, sure. Doesn't work like that. I give them away at my own discretion. I give them away if I think they're a suitable home. So it's not like I'm forcing someone to try and buy them. I don't want nothing for them. I just want to make sure they go to the proper home. But by no means does that mean someone can just walk in and say, I'll have them for free, please, thanks. Doesn't work like that. They go at my discretion. So now it's just making sure we can find the right home for them, and yeah, until they're actually gone, we're not even going to consider other animals. But if we were to, there's things like American green tree frogs, European green tree frogs. We could have a chameleon. Like I said, we've got the height there to go up, and that room is really, really warm, so we could actually get away with a mesh tank instead of a glass one. And obviously that is more beneficial. So yeah, there's a lot that could go there, but we'll have to see, won't we? So other than that, that is the reasons to why I think I should get rid of my line day geckos. If you've got any other reason to why I shouldn't, or even why I should, drop them in the comments down below and let me know, and then we can talk about it. Hopefully you might be able to help me out a little bit, because I'm a little bit lost with this. But yeah, other than that, that is the debate I'm trying to have with myself at the minute, and with a few other people that help me with stuff like this, because they are also a big part to play in it, because it's not just me that takes care of all my animals, other people as well for me. So it's about that kind of commitment together and teamwork. So hopefully we can come to an agreement and sort something out for them. I'm not too fussed about me and other animals, I just want them to have a good home. So other than that, ended on a bit of a negative note, but not too negative. It happens a lot in the hobby. It's just moving forward. That's what it is. We grow. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. If you can help me out with anything to do with this whole subject today, then drop me in the comments, let me know. And like I said in my previous life update video, if you do want a sticker, then if they focus, there we go, then let me know and we'll send you out a sticker pack. So thank you for watching the video and stay tuned for another one next week. Goodbye.